everyone. Welcome back. Episode 3, Jimmy Williams and Aaron Black on your podcast provider. It is awesome to have your company as we roll into a third week of talking sport. Plenty to get to. The Dockers keep on rolling. They are in hot form, but they do have a bye this week. The Eagles go down. Blackie and the West Perth Falcons didn't play on the weekend. They had a bye. And the NBA playoffs, we have got a series. As I say, a very big warm welcome to my good mate. His name is Aaron Black. G'day, Blackie.
Hey guys, hey Jim, thanks for having me. God
Mike's here as well.
My name is Joe.
Oh, Blackie.
It's good to be back, mate.
It is. It's good to see you. I know you didn't play on the weekend, which means you had the luxury of being able to catch up with a few of your mates, myself included, and you headed down to the pub. There were some very special guests there, Terry Danaher and Rod Hogg.
Yeah, well, look, it would have been nice to maintain a bit of that form after a win a few weeks ago, but yeah, we had a few days off, so where better place to spend it than the Bowls Club. And to our surprise, we were met with some really cool people. Terry Danaher was there, like you said, Rodney Hogg, and just by chance we happened to be in the building.
Not just those two as well, but half of the Past the Orcs podcast was there as well. There was some heavy hitters in the building and some funny stories told that night.
Past the Orcs? Did I?
Oh, you missed the memo?
That? Yeah, I obviously didn't meet them. I was too interested in Rodney Hogg stories, mate.
We'll come back to it.
No, I'll touch on the Terry Danaher thing because it was pretty cool.
Go on. But it was great to have him in the room.
Well, absolutely. Well, I never met him, and I didn't know who Rodney Hogg is. Sorry to the cricket fans out there. I'm not a cricket guy.
That's okay.
But there's about 35 people in the room, and we were 6 of them. And there was a heap of Essendon memorabilia and cricket stuff that was signed by, Dennis Lilly and Terry Danaher signed and all stuff like that. And they did an auction, and it was pretty cool to hear some stories about Terry and those days playing footy, and then a bit about Neil, which obviously the recent passing and the big freeze stuff. Which is huge. It was actually really cool to be a part of that and have a bit of fun. Obviously, having a few Gatorades, mate.
What did you get up to with your weekend off? I know I mentioned that West Perth didn't play. Chance to refresh the mind, refresh the body, or what'd you do?
Yeah, well, mate, I'm old, man. I've been around a long time. So we had a bit of time off. So we had a bit of work we had to do, but that's about it. Caught up with some friends, had a few beverages, mate, which was nice, and watched a bit of footy. And the AFL footy was wicked. I know we're going to look into next week, but just how close the games were was quality. It was actually really enjoyable.
Except for Fremantle, who absolutely
I told you they belt them.
Broke records and smashed North Melbourne.
Yeah, and you said it would be closer than people think.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe it was.
Well, no, it wasn't. It certainly wasn't. I've been banging on to people who would listen, who are close friends of mine and Fremantle supporters, and I've been waiting for the scary Fremantle team. Like I wanted to see them put it all together for the whole 4 quarters, because when you are a team like they are, who are going to play finals, you want to make sure you've actually done that in the regular season at some point. Now, North Melbourne are North Melbourne. They're not going all that well. It doesn't matter. You can only beat who you play.
Absolutely.
And to do it down in Bunbury, they'd like to do it on Optus, but you just want to make sure that come September, as I said, that you've put it all together so you know what it looks like. And I call it scary. Now, that was scary.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Well, at least the Roos got paid for it. Didn't they sell that one? So that's about all they got. Mate. Yeah. Freo are legit, and I think they've been really good for a long period of time.
My weekend was...
What did you get up to, Jim?
I was commentating the game out at Claremont between the Tigers and the West Coast Twos, and I remember thinking going into the game, I just wanted to see those guys who were on the second rung of the Eagles list. I wanted to see them grasp a game by the scruff of the neck.
Anyone surprise you? Anyone you think pushed for selection for West Coast, mate?
First half was just Claremont did what I thought Claremont would do, but it was the third quarter, Blackie, that finally these AFL-listed players looked like AFL players, and they destroyed Claremont. There was only one bloke playing for the Tigers in the game, and Jaden Hunter, I think he kicked
7.
He kicked 7 or 8.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. I mean, they kept kicking it to him, and he was the one that kept them in the game.
That'd be nice. I play forward, and I've had one shot on goal this year. I've kicked one behind.
But finally, Blackie, these Eagles that are coming through, they all clicked and they looked like AFL players. So there's many reasons to be excited. I know they've had a pretty crap week because Ruben Jimby's going to be out for 8 to 10 weeks with a quad injury, and that's going to test them in terms of their key defender stocks. But what it will do is it will open the door for my man, Marcus Herbert, Oliver Franku, who was sensational again in the midfield. Some of these guys are going to get exposed, and I've said this before, but it should be sooner rather than later because they don't have much to lose.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, I'm still surprised. I think we spoke about it a few weeks ago. So in the mid-season draft, they pick up 2 midfielders. Obviously, both going very well.
Yeah,
but they need some keys, and I don't know where they slot into the midfield at the moment at West Coast because I actually think Tim Kelly's back to probably as good a form as he's been in a couple of years. The great man, and the 2 young fellas in Dersma and Harley are. I think that combo together are going to be really, really good to watch in the coming years.
Question without notice, because last week you did reveal to us that you're a bit of a side Carlton supporter. Now, West Coast fans, they're going to riot in the street. We'll talk about riots in the street a little bit later in the pod, but there is a rising star race this year that is as close as it's ever been. Willem Dersma at West Coast and Jagger Smith at Carlton. Oh. And then my God, he's saying, hang on a minute. So, well, what are your thoughts, Brenchy?
Dersma. Mate,
so
generational.
So you're saying Dersma. I'm saying, and I'm putting this on the record now, what's the date today as we record Wednesday the 10th of June? This is a genuine 50-50. Genuine 50-50. Dersma is a guy who I think has got a lot more X factor in him as a football player. But Jagger Smith has had a terrific season, and I would hate to be on the rising star panel. It is. I'm putting it on the record today. This is going to be a flip of the coin.
It's Dersma for me, but I can see why you would think Jagger. But he just had that big lull period through the middle. Why it would be 50-50.
Well, I'm not saying one or the other. I'm saying it will be.
And
close.
I wouldn't say I'll go back to this. I wouldn't say I'm almost a closet Carlton fan, but
you can't be now.
No, I'm more of a Melbourne guy, man. I'm a Cozzy guy, so let's not go away. Let's not shy away from that. But just some of the stuff that Dersma does, so clean, he's rangy. There's so much room for growth with him and his ability to play, in all 3 lines across the ground. I think that's the thing that's the most scary with him. Whereas Jagger's going to be a real big accumulator, line breaker. But I think his size will limit him in the long run with that type of thing.
I want to clarify that. I think long term they're both going to be very good players.
Correct.
I'm just saying for the winner of the Rising Star this year, those are the 2 standout candidates. And then
if
some
you had
people
$50, Jim, who would you put your money on? They're both probably paying $1.80, but
I think the market is level. Last time I checked, they were both at $2.25.
That's a pretty good guess for someone who hasn't looked at it at all.
If you are having if you are having a punt, please do so responsibly. Remember what you could be buying instead. I would be. I mean, I don't know, Blackie.
Just throw it away, mate.
I don't know. Give me a coin. Has anyone got a coin?
Mate, it's Dersma. His ability under pressure and composure is incredible, and the first look inboard is an attacking move. It's exciting, and that is that's a scary thing to do, kick inboard, and then for him to actually take it on and then execute.
Who does he remind you of, God Mike? Does he remind you of anyone? He kind of reminds me of you back in your peak, your prime.
Well, of course.
Yeah, that was who I was thinking.
Add to my 6 league games, would have been a flourishing AFL career, I'm assuming.
They're both going to be very good players for a very long period of time. The final thing I'll make on this topic is what I'm saying is neither one of them is streets ahead of the other. That's what I'm trying to get at. And I have seen some commentary on social that suggests that one is way better than the other. Hey, Monday, Blackie, there's a couple of big talking points out of this game. Melbourne and Collingwood.
Yeah.
Melbourne got the W, but
It's a good song.
You spoke last week. Great song, Grand Old Flag. You spoke last week on the podcast. One of your favourite players is Cozzy Pickett. Now, this guy is arguably the best player in the comp right now. What do you think?
It's the most exciting to watch, I think. And I've very, very quickly become a Cozzy fan. I reckon at the start of the year I saw a couple of games. Ironically enough, I was at the pub again. But
Why? Why do you like him so much? Why is he so good to watch?
I honestly, just the speed in which he does things, ball use, kicks goals. You know, he just plays on instinct. And a lot of guys do that at AFL level, but there's just something about the way that he does it that I really enjoy watching. And obviously Melbourne with a new coach and probably weren't expected to go as well as they are, and their style of play probably added to that. I'm a big fan of the Eddie Betts lowrider shorts and the semi tucked in long sleeve jersey. Like when he's playing in Darwin, it's probably like 35 degrees. He's still got the long sleeves on. He's just got a bit of swagger about him, and he was that good on the Monday. And obviously Nick was pretty good too. But to have 28 and kick 3-1, and arguably probably kick the sealer, it's a pretty handy day out. It'd be nice to be able to have those days again too.
What about that last shot?
What about it?
Where he played on?
Mimip.
What about it?
Inside 30 seconds. If he's kicked it, good work. But if he doesn't, that is a cardinal sin. Gives them a chance to load up and go straight end to end. It's a very dumb football decision.
It is, and that
Gee, Brad, she goes, bang.
Mimip. That's what he. But that's the instinct he plays with, mate, isn't it? And you you live and die by the sword with a lot of the players who play like that. They're either going to win it for you or they're probably going to lose it for you if they make the mistake. But they're that good that they kick him, and he did.
The other talking point from the game was the tackle of Billy Frampton on Melbourne big man Brodie Myercheck. This is, by the time you're hearing this, we would have had an AFL tribunal verdict. So we're recording before the tribunal verdict goes out. Don't know if you or Branchy have seen the incident.
Yeah.
Blackie and Branchy. So Brodie Myercheck broke his neck. He's been offered 3 weeks from the AFL. It wasn't a slinging motion. It wasn't a super dangerous tackle. I put the question to both of you. Was this just a freak accident, Blackie?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
So would you like to see him get off?
I don't think so, because they're making a big deal out of the tackle having the duty of care over the player, and I guess head underneath armpit dropping back. You still have to show some care. It's hard in the moment, adrenaline. It's a funny position, but what do you want?
A couple of mates of mine suggested it looked like a WWE, a DD.
Yeah,
DDT,
well, I'm a big wrestling.
That's good, yeah.
I'm a big wrestling guy too, so it was obviously relatively well executed, but obviously we don't like the end result of what happened. The players obviously got duty of care. Frampton's got duty of care. I'm not sure about how you assess how many weeks you give, because it wasn't a slinging motion. It wasn't overly slammed hard. It was just an awkward position, landed on top of the head.
So gut feel gets off or not?
I don't think he gets off. They also take into consideration the end result, whether that's right or wrong. I think in that scenario, you almost have to, because Myercheck probably won't play again for the rest of the year, I would imagine, if he's got a broken neck. That's just
surgery already,
correct.
I think.
So I haven't actually seen how long that leaves him out for, but that's what I would imagine. So you'd think that Frampton has to miss a couple. He can't have someone miss 12 and he doesn't miss any. And
Branchy, your gut feel on this one?
I'm always conscious of replays. So I go off my gut feel of what I saw then and there, and in real time. And it looked like a freak accident. He won't get off, I don't think, but there's a freak accident, can't be helped. You are aware, obviously, in games, like the speed of which things happen. It's hard to avoid these things. So I'm glad I haven't even seen the slow motion, because that could change my mind and everyone else's mind. But I think from what I saw on the game, live, real time, just a freak accident, couldn't be helped.
I don't know if you want to see it either, Cam.
No, well,
pretty-
I'm glad they didn't show it
yeah.
because it's rank. But
Yeah, it is pretty gross, man.
but he
It's
didn't
not-
go in with any intention, surely.
No, I don't think so. No.
The other football that I wanted to get to, of course, the Hall of Fame was held earlier this week. Now, one of the great men of the waffle competition was inducted. Wasn't inducted, became a legend in the Australian Rules Football Hall of Fame. And I know you've had a little bit to do with him, Blackie, so I just wanted to ask you about the great man. Walk us through your relationship with the great Billy Walker.
Yeah, that was awesome to see, albeit probably a relatively small relationship with him, but have had interactions and sat with him at, certain events, and just to be able to spend a bit of time and ask questions. He's got so much time for anybody that he sort of spends time with. To sit with someone like that, 4 Soundover medals and 280 odd games, I think, along those lines. It's just really cool to sort of share stories and spend a bit of time with someone like that. And I've been lucky enough to have those opportunities. So I know there'll be lots of waffle listeners listening to this who have probably had an opportunity to spend a bit of time with him who would agree.
And you're all coming up against your old coach this week, the East Freo Sharks and Bill Monahan. Can your boys make it 2 in a row?
Yeah, and Billy and Sans have been really good mates. Along with Bill's assistants, they probably obviously know a lot of the way we probably want to play, and we're going to have a fair idea of what they're going to do. Obviously, vision and stuff like that helps, but they know each other inside and out in the way they do things. So I think we're absolutely a chance if we play the way we did in the Derby. On WA Day, I think we're every chance, and I think we're slowly to now figuring out clientele and how the game plan is gonna play with the people we have. So I think we're a chance, mate. Absolutely, I wouldn't go into it thinking we're not.
Always a chance. I like to hear that. We have plenty more coming up in this episode 3 of the Jimmy and Blackie podcast. We're going to talk World Cup. We're going to talk the NBA playoffs, and we do have Off Your Chest coming up with plenty of punters having their say. But before we do...
Who's talking about World Cup?
We like to play football.
I've got some questions for you.
About soccer, mate, but I'll be happily answer them.
Well, I've got
Who's going to win?
Football's the winner.
Football.
I've got some questions for you because we just simply do have to discuss just very briefly. The AFL round 14 kicks off Thursday night. Blackie, Adelaide, and the Western Bulldogs and the Crows at Marvel.
Are we tipping?
Yes.
Oh, magical.
The Dogs and the Crows.
Isn't this just magical? There's another one. Who was it? Who'd you say?
Dogs. The Dogs and Crows at Marvel.
Adelaide. At Marvel.
Okay.
They're good there, aren't they? Yep. Beauty. What about you, Matt?
They beat Geelong last week, so yeah, I'm going to go Adelaide as well, actually. Yeah. Geelong and the Gold Coast at Geelong on Friday night.
Game. Gee whiz, we've had some good footy in the last
It's
2 weeks.
It's a crunch month.
Yeah. Geelong.
Geelong at home for me as well. Melbourne host Essendon at the MCG.
What time is this and what day?
It's at past. I don't know why that matters.
It matters.
It's at 11:15 Western Standard Time on Saturday. So
I'll watch a bit of it. Well, I get to watch my favourite player play, and I'm every chance to wear the double XLs on Saturday, just out of
just so you can look like Cozzy.
Just so I can look like Cozzy. I was trying to train like him the other night. Just bring a bit of energy.
Has Cozzy played without Gawn in the middle?
Has he played without him?
Can he get his own footy? I don't know. I'm just...
Can he? Are you asking if he can ruck?
He probably could. With a leap like that, but yeah, just... I don't know.
Is Gawn playing?
I'm pretty sure.
No. Just I'm just wondering. Just with the first use that Gawn gives him, is he the player that he has been? I know he is dangerous in the forward line, but just a question.
Welcome back to the champion.
Food for thought. If you got any thoughts on that,
champion data bloody podcast. Brandy just goes bang and stitches us up with a stat we don't have access to immediately.
If you've got any input, feel free to comment, guys.
D's?
But that's a silly question.
Yeah, Essendon are going nowhere near.
Cozzy might kick 6 and have 30.
The North Melbourne, another game that they've
No,
sold.
who are they? No.
They're playing a home game against West Coast.
West Coast will win.
You would hope West Coast would win. But
Am I going to tip West Coast all year? I was confident last week too.
Yeah. I was on the radio when the fixture came out last year. I said they'd win these 3 consecutive games. So the Essendon game, the Port Adelaide game, and then the North game obviously dropped the Port game, but they probably should have won, depending on who you ask. I'm going to pick West Coast. They're outsiders in the market, that's craziness. But North Melbourne, I expect to. Well, they have to show some fight and bounce back. But I'm still picking.
Optus?
No, this one's in Perth. In Perth, yeah, at Optus Stadium. So home game.
They wouldn't happen
North.
to not be favourites because there's no Jimby, right? The boy or whatever they call him. He can't be the boy.
Jimmy the kid. Jesus, man, he's unbelievable.
I dare say that would have something to do with the market. Yeah. Well, I mean, it frees up a guy like Nick Larkey to have a bit of an afternoon or a night. It is an afternoon game, but I'm still picking West Coast. And I hope Marcus Herbert plays.
Any issue with the fixturing in WA this week, Jim? Nothing. Did anyone else have any issues driving up from Bunbury to get to the West Coast game?
No, we'll get back to that.
We'll
get back to that because I did my research actually, so we'll come back to it, I promise. Port Adelaide and Sydney at Adelaide Oval.
You think Sydney would win, yeah.
Yeah, Sydney, who got a mighty fright from the Saints. The Swans should get the job done there. Last 2 games are on the Sunday, Black Man, and it is Richmond hosting Brisbane.
I think Brisbane found a bit of form last week, so you'd imagine they would win.
And I told you they would. I snapped response last week and told you they'd win, and they did. And the other game is between the Saints and the Giants to end the round at Marvel under the lid.
And curious to know your thoughts on the Saints too, so if you can expand a little bit on how they're going and where you think they're at, mate, and if Ross the boss is the right man for the job, maybe.
You want me to do it right now?
Why not? Because I'm going to... Who am I going to tip? Who are they versing?
GWS.
I think the Saints might win, but I'm going to go GWS just because. I want to hear your thoughts. GWS will win.
I'm picking St Kilda because it's in Melbourne under the lid and they love to play there. Do you want me to... I'll do a quick 30-second review of the Sydney game.
Okay.
They should have won.
Yeah.
You know, the kick at right half forward, if you're going to make that little chip kick, maybe at least disguise it as it's gone further than 15.1 metres. And that was just, I think, a lack of knowing how long was left in the game. Don't give the umpire a chance to pay not 15, which they paid not 15. And if you're Darcy Wilson, boys, and you're running in and you've got Tom de Koning coming at you and there's less than 3 minutes to go and you opt to have the shot, that's fine.
Kick the goal, Jim.
Put your boot into it. Don't try and chip it. I know you're at the SCG, which is the smallest ground in the country, but actually try and send it 20 rows back. I could not believe it. I was tearing my hair out when I saw that.
He's Nick Nurse that one home, hasn't he? He just didn't get it there.
Just sink your slipper into it. And if you miss, hey, that's fine. But actually try and send it.
But they didn't win, Jim.
No, they didn't win.
And they probably should be better than they are, shouldn't they?
They've improved. But Ross Lyon is under the pump big time. But I think St Kilda fans won't like me saying this, but I think at best this is going to be a wild card team.
You're speaking to yourself.
At best.
Do you not like what you just said?
No. No, not when you go out and recruit. You recruit blokes to win games. You don't... The reason why the St Kilda Football Club hasn't achieved more than one premiership is you, as a football club, and you know this. You guys know this better than me. You can't settle. You can't settle for being average. That's not how football clubs work. You're out there competing week on week to win finals, win premierships. Boys, am I wrong?
No. Well, some of the kids are good, but I think they're very good, but they just don't perform well.
So you think we're in a process?
We shouldn't be, because you spent $50 million on 5 guys, and Sam Flanders is one of them.
And he did his Achilles.
Oh, did he?
Anyway.
Are they going to really swing away next year, though? Bit of a year of building, like what I think probably Freo did last year?
Well, I can only hope, Branchman. Only hope so.
They're poised. They've got all the things in place.
They've got lots of talent. The story coming out of the club this week, well, not out of the club, but from a couple of journos in Melbourne, is that Darcy Wilson is pretty much not going to stay there. And he is a young gun who runs his guts out and is a really good player, and keeping players like that are going to be integral to bouncing back up the ladder and playing finals. But it sounds like, well, the report, lads, is that every single club has asked about him. So he's about to get paid. That's what that means. A lot of money.
That'd be nice. We are chasing a sponsor if anyone's interested. So
enough about the Saints, boys, because there you go. You got me angry. Buys this week for Carlton, Collingwood, the Dockers, and the Hawks. So the Dockers can't win or lose this week, which means hopefully the prices for flights to Melbourne come down, because I've got a concert to go to on that weekend and I haven't booked my flights yet. So yes, I'm an idiot.
And you just bought a brand new MacBook, Jim, so you've spent too much on that.
Yeah, it's been an expensive week. But we will digress. Blackie, I know you've been waiting to get to this, so let's get into it. We have got a series on our hands.
My name is Jeff.
The Knicks. No, we're going to wait. We'll get to that, but we will talk NBA first.
I really want to get it off my chest then, but we'll go to the Knicks. Sorry, mate. I've interrupted.
My name is Jeff. The NBA playoffs are heating up. We're 3 games in. The first 2 have been won by the Knicks on the floor of the Spurs. Game 3 was won by the Spurs in New York City. This is turning into a fascinating series. After 3 games, Blackie, what are your overriding thoughts?
How good is the NBA 1, 2? The playoffs is number 2. And number 3 is the NBA Finals. I love the basketball so much. Too bad I'm 5'10" and unathletic. Hey, God Mike. Thanks for that. Dude, it's been an unbelievable series, first off. And the Knicks have, I think I mentioned it last week, far outplayed, I guess, how I thought they were going to play into the finals series, into the playoffs, full stop. They seem to, Mike Brown's got them humming. And I think Spurs being a young side, still figuring things out. They've got a couple of vets at the end of the bench, but not many of the vets get in the game, really. So they're playing a lot of kids who are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So they're going to make some of those silly errors that you saw at the back end of game 2. But I think the funniest thing about this series, or the coolest thing, is I don't think the away team has won the first 4 games since, I think it's 1993. And I think that series, it was the first 5 games were all won by the away team. So that's it's actually pretty interesting that rarely ever happens. You tend to take home court advantage and go okay. But I'm going to go in and say I've said Spurs in 6. We've backed Spurs in 6 on the pod, and we've posted about Spurs in 6. I don't think the Epstein thing is legit. God, Mike, I know that's where you're going.
I just love the sense of community it's bringing. The Knicks. They're all coming together. I've got to show you a very funny video that is far too inappropriate for this.
Yeah.
It's just great to see the city come together.
Mate, New York could melt down if they win and or if they lose. It's going to melt down either way.
We will get to that. So just quickly, you're sticking fat with Spurs in 6?
Well, yeah. And I love that everybody holds me to it from now on. Anyone who listens thinks it's amazing that I said Spurs in 6. I said that 3 weeks ago. All I wanted was a good series, and it's delivered exactly that. And if it goes to 7 and the Knicks win, sick. And if it goes to 6 and the Spurs win, even better.
You dropped one stat. The other fascinating stat I found from the series so far is that Karl Anthony Towns, the New York big man, I don't think has scored a point in the 4th quarter so far. If that's going to happen, that's an absolute gift for the Spurs. You're backing him to find some form on home court in Game 4?
Yeah, offensively, he's going to have to. And arguably, I know I said Steph Castle for Finals MVP too, but I think defensively on Jalen Brunson, although he scored, in his 30s, he's shooting at like 30-something% overall from the field. So he's actually been defended very well, and I think Steph's been his main opponent across a lot of those possessions. I think Cat will have to score and will have to provide something offensively. Again, been very good defensively on Wemby too.
And on top of that, Mikal Bridges didn't score until the fourth quarter, I think, of Game 3. So New York were really, really struggling on their home floor. Let's get to the stuff that's happened. I know Branchy alluded to that video that's happened off the court. Now, you just absolutely knew that this was going to happen. So they haven't had success in so long, the New York fans. They sell out Madison Square Garden, which was going to happen. Tickets are a gazillion dollars. And sure enough, the Spurs win Game 3, and then what happens? Violence, people on the streets doing some of the dumbest things ever. I saw a video, and I reckon this is the one that Branchy might have been alluding to, that they've tried to light a bloke's hair on fire.
No.
So you're saying
more inappropriate than that.
So you're saying it's worse than that, Branchy? Worse than that?
Yeah, I'm not going to say what I'll tell you after, and you'll know why. But it's beautiful.
Have you seen some of the vision? Some of the fan behaviour was just disgraceful.
I'm a vicariously a big F1 fan now, and they talk about they talk about the Kardashian curse. But Lewis Hamilton's racing fantastically well. Well done, Kimi, on the weekend in Monaco. Just a quick shout out to the F1 because we don't cover that yet. But we will.
I'll force you.
But back to
the fan behaviour.
With the fan, and I was going to mention, is the Trump curse real? Because he was sitting courtside, little sleepy, old fella, wasn't he?
So you're blaming the president.
Well, the boys get a little nervous. How often does the president of the United States go and watch an NBA game?
Yeah, and didn't that stuff up some security stuff around, like so that you couldn't have everyone surrounding the stadium and whatnot?
Just like,
it does take a bit of the atmosphere away.
Yeah, and even I think some of the players mentioned it too, but that was just something that I thought interesting. Was interesting, and maybe the Trump curse is a thing and the Kardashian curse isn't anymore.
Yeah, the players, I think, were a little bit upset. It was taking a little longer for them to get into the venue because they had to do extra security screens. But I genuinely fear that if the Spurs claim Game 4 in New York, we've already seen it. So we've already seen it be horrific in one game. But you just... And this is the thing, the point that I'm trying to make is... So the New York City... government and the people who have the power, they need to actually do something where they can contain these people, and and the reason I'm not saying lock them up. I'm just saying don't be surprised that this was going to happen, and that's why you need to actually have things in place for thousands of people to be able to watch and see the game with security, with event staff.
What would they do, Jim? Just out of curiosity,
what would
how can you stop them from?
Well, you think it's going to be a Paris incident? After the what was it, FA Cup?
Well, I hope there's no serious incident, but if you scroll social media and you watch what some of the fans are doing,
it's fabulous watching.
It's bordering.
What was the France thing? What was that? Not the FA Cup.
Sure.
That was what was the other one? Not Premier League.
UEFA.
No, I'm an idiot.
Okay.
You said it.
The one where all the teams play. Champions League. There you go.
Okay.
Not sure what happened, but there was a security incident.
Yeah,
Branchy.
France went into meltdown.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Go and watch the footage, Jim. You're behind, mate.
Anyway,
I can't explain what happened, but you might. I have seen it, Cam.
So are you, Blackie, just to finish up on the playoffs or the finals there, Spurs in 6?
Yeah.
Doubling down?
I hope so. But anything in 7 would be nice to see. I didn't want to, as long as there wasn't a sweep, I was happy, so... I think everyone wants more basketball and they want more NBA, New York Knicks fan memes. We got Brunson. OG Anunoby.
I brought out the old OG Patrick Ewing one sitting there. It's not mine. It's Adam Radici's actually.
Oh, big Jake. Shout out Radici.
I've taken that for about 10 years, I reckon.
What is it? Sorry?
It's an old school Patrick Ewing basketball jersey.
Oh, elite.
So shout out to Deitch.
I'm not sure
if
it
you
would
want
fit
your jersey,
the large
mate.
human. I'm sorry, mate.
It's not a quadruple XL, big fella.
All right. Moving on from the NBA Finals to finally, we have had some awesome fan engagement in this one. We are getting to it. The Off Your Chest segment, which is
there it is.
going to be owned by...
I've got a bit excited.
It's going to be owned by Blackie. Now, before we get to your what's on your chest or what you need to get off your chest, we've had some fan engagement this week. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'm just going to quickly pull it up because some of the fans have been involved on our Instagram. Blackie,
Thanks for getting involved, guys.
Make
Appreciate
sure
it.
you follow Jimmy and Blackie. We've got the first one here for you, Blackie.
Here we go. This might get me going, though.
Do you feel like you could have had a similar impact to a Milan Murdoch at AFL level if given an opportunity? That's not a jazz up either.
That's a genuine question.
That's a genuine question. That's not a jazz up.
Because that was what I was going to talk about. But do I think I could have?
That's the question.
Well,
yeah, sent in from our man Akash.
I just had to adjust my headset because I was getting a little excited. Well, funny enough, a great man who we speak highly of, Alan Black. I'll give him a shout out. He once said to me when I worked with him, a fair few years ago, that if you get an opportunity to talk about yourself, you should. So I will.
It's your segment.
Thanks for asking. Well, this is in a sporting context. I wouldn't see why not. I had one opportunity that I think was relatively okay and would justify that maybe potentially I could have had a similar impact, although two slightly different players. He's probably a little bit quicker than me. I wouldn't see why I wouldn't be able to have that kind of impact. And I know you've got a few more to give me, but you've tickled me a little bit here.
I hadn't read that one.
Yeah, you haven't read that one.
No, I hadn't. I hadn't read it prior to. So
when we spoke about what I was going to get off my chest
so
today,
I've stuffed up big time.
You didn't know that.
I didn't know.
You've got me jazzed up early.
I didn't mean to, but get into it. What do you
I
need
want
to
to
get off your chest?
But that's exactly what I want to get off my chest, and it's got nothing to do with me, Jim. It's got everything to do with the way people, and I say people, but there were comments made during the West Coast game almost every week about Milan Murdoch and his performance, and we're so surprised at how he's just slotted in and he's able to do the things that he's doing, coming from the waffle system, blah blah blah, all that kind of rubbish. And it actually really irked me when I heard it, because I went, you can't. Surely you're not that delusional to think that only the elite talent gets drafted into the AFL, and there's so many, like everyone who's not made it or is not playing is no good. Oh, and there's a 25-year-old who's won 2 Simpson medals and is averaging 32 and a goal a game in the waffle is not going to have some sort of impact. Whether he's the quality of Lachie Neale at the top end of elite midfielders,
two-time Brownlow medalist,
correct. That may not be the case, but you can't tell me that he couldn't fit into a bottom 10, 15 player on an AFL list and play a role every single week. I reckon there's 3 to 5 guys in almost every side that one way or another could play a role on an AFL list for almost 3/4 of the teams in the AFL.
Agreed.
So that really bugged me, and that's a sports-related one, and I probably was going to stay away from it, but you tickled me a little bit too early, that bugged me.
It's your segment, and I think the best thing about the Milan Murdoch story is, and I want to back up your point, is that he's been doing this as a waffle player for 3 or 4 years now, maybe longer, and he was doing it outside of an elite environment, working as a sparky. So he's gone into the program, and all of a sudden he's cemented himself into the Eagles' best 23. He's not on his Pat Malone. There's plenty of these guys around the country.
Correct, mate. We could play that unders and overs game, and I'd go unders and overs 50 across 3 second-tier competitions that could quite easily slot into the AFL. That bugged me, and I'm glad I got that off my chest, mate. Can you continue with the ones that we got sent in? Because
that was sent in. So thank you to Akash for sending that in, and it transitioned nicely into what you were going to say. I've got another one here. This one's actually for me, Blackie. So I will get to it. I promised earlier in the show I'd get to it. Can you please ask Jimmy to talk about how he thinks it's rubbish to have 2 WA games in one day, then compare that to Gather Round, South Australia games, all Saturday. Well, they're not all played on Saturday in the Gather Round. They're spread across the whole round, in short. And also when there's a game happening at the MCG, Docklands, Cardinia Park, all in one Saturday. Just curious. Thanks very much, Jay. Now, I will answer this.
Yeah,
thank you for
an idiot.
Thank you for thank you for your feedback. But the point I wanted to make was that I'm talking from a media perspective here, and I went back through the fixture and I checked. Now, the only time this year this has happened was on the weekend. The only other time that West Coast and Fremantle have played on the same day this year was the Derby. It doesn't happen because we don't have a heap of media resources to cover both games. So it is really unique. I know it was a North Melbourne home game, but we're not in Melbourne. We don't have the amount of staff. We don't have the amount of reporters. We don't have the amount of commentators to be able to, even though we did cover the games, obviously, as a media fraternity, but it does put a lot of pressure and things and resources under the pump. Am I out of touch, boys? Have I answered that well? Is that okay? Does that make any sense?
I mean, yeah, but it's it's a media perspective, Jim. But they obviously have had the resources to do it because they did it. But
that's fair too.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like they played back to back at Optus. I'll go there again.
Well, but this is the thing though. It would have been easier had they have done that.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
Well.
And they didn't do that. They played one in Bunbury and one in Perth.
6 hours apart.
I mean, that's a good point. But it gets people down to Bunbury and expands that reach of the game.
That's that's a whole nother discussion point if we're talking about a 20th licence and it being in the southwest. There's no more proud of West Australian than me that would like to see that happen.
Well, I'm proud of you, Jim. That was a very political answer. And just well done.
Thanks to my man Jay for getting in touch. Make sure you do it again next week. Here's one for you, Blackie. This is from Levi. Can you please ask Blackie to explain when or what? No, this is
from Levi.
This is from Levi. So he wants to get this off his chest.
Oh, okay.
When people get drunk and message you, top 14 most annoying people of all time.
Top 14. Yeah, Levi, he could be one of our 3 biggest fans. Good fella. He's actually not up there yet. I actually, if there's any people floating around, I'd probably be one of them. Top 14 is pretty rough, Levi. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I don't need to get that off your chest, but I think he did because I think he feels like it's him. That's how often he rings me when he's drunk.
The final one that's come through, and this one is, well, we actually have 2 more. So one was commented on the podcast, and you can leave yours below. Make sure you do comment. This one is for you, Blackie. To get off your chest, ask him about unrewarded roles. I think this is very much a football question, I reckon, from Corey.
Yeah, I won't know the exact Corey that sent it as well. We do it because it's the right thing to do and you win games of footy when you do it. Isn't that right, Corey? But
look down the camera and say it one more time. What did you say?
We do it because it's the right thing to do, mate. All right? It's important and we win games of footy when we do it. That's why we do unrewarded roles. And there are plenty of guys running around doing it.
There you go.
Wouldn't you rather play in a winning team if everyone's playing their roles?
Absolutely,
and then
Cameron.
win
and that's
premierships and get 5 possessions and a tackle in a grand final.
You can leave the camera on me, Jimmy, because I'm staring down the barrel.
It was only for that one. The final one to get off your chest was commented on our episode 2. So thank you to our man Tom, the Fridge. Is that still his nickname?
He is Fridgie O'Donnell.
Fridgie O'Donnell, one of the great men. When people sit in the right lane and don't do the speed limit and you have to undertake them, which I think is illegal, that he said it ticks his tocker off. Now, I don't know what that means.
I'll get a bit of clarity from the great man at work during the week.
I was sitting on the couch reading that comment. I reckon I was laughing for about 15 minutes straight.
It is illegal, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
they did it.
They're doing it with the AI cameras are going to start finding people for it.
Keep left unless overtaking.
I did say
that. Is the rule. So if
How are they going to police that on the freeway?
Who polices that?
How are they going to do that?
They will need to find a way.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you to our man Fridge. You had me in hysterics for about 15 minutes. If you've got one for next week, to get off your chest, please leave a comment. Make sure you like and subscribe to our Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube Podcasts. And we appreciate any of the feedback we're getting so far. There's been plenty of love.
The more of those we can get in, the better, Jim, I think. And I would
like
a very... Absolutely. That's a great start. I would just love to thank... Because we didn't do it last week, but thanks to the Hard Yarns and Cameron Branch for letting us commandeer the ship and utilise some of the facilities near, mate. So
Not a problem, mate. I'm enjoying it.
Absolute star of a person. Yep, I echo those sentiments. Thank you for your support so far, Branchy. Now, before we wrap up, lads, we have to make mention of this because it's the biggest sporting event in the world. And it's beginning on Sunday. The boys don't seem too enthralled about it.
Look, I'm a Borough man. I'm a Middlesbrough man.
Oh, okay. So you do follow the code.
No. My missus is a Middlesbrough. She's from Stockton-on-Tees, which if anyone who knows where that is, it's not a great place. But Middlesbrough has... mate, they've got the lowest pregnancy age average in the world. Like, it's ridiculous. But, Middlesbrough, Did you see what happened with Spygate?
Yes, I did. I did.
To go up into the Premier League.
Yes, it was a schmozzle.
Yeah, so it was a schmozzle. They got a second chance and then they squandered that pretty badly. But so I do have a little bit of a knowledge of football, but it's very brief. All I know is the way America, the way the United States reacted when they found out Australia was in their group, as it was a piss easy win. I'm not going to swear because I don't know if you want swearing on your podcast, but it makes me very excited to hopefully potentially get a win over them.
It would be unreal if the Socceroos can win against the United States in the group stage.
have we all just got something off our chest? That makes me feel good.
I pressed the wrong button again. But first game for the Socceroos is on Sunday, lads. And do either of you know who we're playing?
Turkey.
There you go. See, he's all over it. Now.
And we will get...
Oh, there you go. We'll get smashed.
We'll get smashed. I know that.
I hope we don't. But Aaron, can you tell us anything about Turkey?
That's very funny, are you?
Thank you, pal. That's good. About Turkey.
Yeah, do you know anything about the team?
You making a visit anytime soon, Blake?
Actually, well, hopefully we get a bit of funding from the potty, mate. I might take a trip over. Might be better viewing if I can get some hair in the front end.
Become Jeff from finance again.
Yes. Well, might have to be better with my money too. Do I know anything about the Turkey team?
Yeah, anything or the country. Turkish delight, Turkish bread. Well, they're the only two things.
Istanbul, isn't it? Istanbul's.
It's supposed to be a beautiful place of the world. I haven't been there.
Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah,
is the oldest known structural city that they've found on Earth.
Thank you, Aaron.
The voice of God Google in the background.
Yeah, can you just chat GPT a whole heap of info, please? God, thanks. I don't know anything.
Thailand has a cap.
I don't know anything about the Turkey players or the team. You think we'll lose? I've done my due diligences.
Branchy said we'll lose.
Okay, well.
What do you think?
Don't come back next week, Cameron.
Give us a prediction. The Socceroos opener.
0-0.
There you go. Branchy, you reckon we'll get flogged? What's the score going to be?
1-1.
That's it.
No, look, I've been told we'll get flogged. But I believe, just like I believe there's still another episode of Stranger Things to come. I believe we're gonna win something.
Oh, okay. So Socceroos winning.
No, drawing. Sorry,
A drawing 1-1.
but I believe we are a chance to score.
There you go.
We all are. Sorry.
I was going to say we're going to. I'm going to go the same as Branchy. So I'm going Socceroos 1, Turkey 1.
We're an educated guess.
That is some fabulous World Cup soccer knowledge from us.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Where's the first game?
I'm not.
Where or when?
Where? It's Mexico.
Yeah, so three host nations: USA, Mexico, Canada.
Yeah, it's Mexico versus Africa or something, South Africa or something.
To launch it Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's how I do this at the end of every episode. I should do it at the end of every episode. How are you otherwise, mate? Life good? Life treating you well? Anything that we've missed that you want to get off your chest? I know your Instagram story had your beautiful dog on it.
Had the big fella on there. If you like St. Bernard's, mate, get on and have a look at that big fella. He's the GOAT. No, not really. I got the little bit of F1 info in there that I
Snuck
wanted
it
to.
in?
Yeah, quite enjoy watching the F1, and I've got Italian heritage, so I don't mind Kimi dominating at the moment. And the only other thing that I actually was intrigued by in the sport, mate, is Sasha Zverev. Because
Finally.
Ash and
Finally.
my partner and I get to the tennis, the Oz Open, and we've been 3, maybe 4 times. And he's been around the mark for a long period of time. Hasn't won a Grand Slam, so well done, Sasha Zverev. Shout out to the great man. Good to see him get a win at Roland Garros.
Finally got his first ever Grand Slam win with a win at the French Open on the clay.
Anything anybody would like to send in, get it off your chest. I would love to read them out. Love to hear them. Love to hear what frustrated the hell out of you last week, this week, next week.
Get him in. You heard the man. He said it. Thanks to our man Branchy. Thanks to Blackie. That's the end of episode 3. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get them. We will be back next week. Enjoy the footy.